Good morning, folks. Hope you're all well. Hope life's treating you well. Hope you all had a good week. It's me. I'm going to talk about the big 3 world title card out in Japan yesterday. Thoroughly enjoyed the card. Japanese boxing is really on the rise. If none of you, anybody watching this, has never watched any of the Japanese guys, current or past, I suggest you get on YouTube, do a bit of research. You will not be sorry. You'll be very entertained. Let's get into it. The first world title fight of the night for the vacant WBO Super-Flyweight title. Kosei Tanaka defeated Christian Bacasegua from Mexico. Apologies if I've screwed his name up. In a very entertaining fight. I was very entertained by it. Bacasegua, I'd never heard of the guy before. I had to research who he was. I'd never, to my knowledge, never seen him anywhere. Never heard his name before. And I think it was his first time fighting outside of Mexico. And he came to fight. He really came to fight. He was very aggressive, threw a lot of punches, worked the body, worked very well on the inside. Gave Kosei Tanaka a few problems. Tanaka, he was just sharper. He was more accurate. His faster hands, more, and he's more experienced. This was Bacasegua's first world title fight. He was more. Tanaka was more experienced world title wise. So it's just he was just sharp. He was landing his right hand at will at times, working nicely to the body, countering well, just the hand speed and everything. Overall it was a bit much for Bacasegua. There was one knockdown in the 8th, which I thought was a bit unlucky. Bacasegua, he took about 2 or 3 straight right hands, and then moments later he kind of got bundled into the ropes and went down. The referee called it a knockdown. I thought it was a little bit unfair. Yes, some punches landed beforehand, but I thought he was a little bit unlucky. I thought it was more of a trip and a push than anything, but it doesn't matter. It was the referee's judgment call. It wouldn't have affected anything if it wasn't called a knockdown anyway. So Kosei Tanaka is now a 4-weight world champion, and he has done it in the fewest number of fights as well. He's beaten Oscar De La Hoya's old record. Tanaka's done it this was his 21st fight. He's now a 4-weight world champion in 21 fights. De La Hoya did it in 24 or 25, I believe. I think it's 24. Back in '97 when he won the WBC welterweight title from Pernell Whitaker in a fight that I didn't think he won, but it doesn't matter. That's neither here nor there. So that record stood for a while, and now Kosei Tanaka's in the record books, history books. He's done that in even fewer fights. So he's a very talented young man. He's only got the one loss to Kazuto Ioka, so no shame in that. That was nearly 3 years ago, I think, over 3 years ago. So no, very entertaining fight. Good way to start off the world title action on the card. Very impressed with both men, and just be interesting to see where Tanaka goes with his career. The next world title fight on that, the WBC Flyweight title, Junto Nakatani stopped Alexandro Santiago. It's been a fucking long morning. I do apologise. In the 6th round to take the WBC title. That makes Nakatani a 3-weight world champion now. It was a brilliant performance. He outmatched Santiago from the start. Good stoppage. No problem with it. I like Junto Nakatani. He's a fantastic fighter. Really enjoyed it. Not much for me to say really. Just watch the highlights, mate. If you find the highlights. Santiago looked at times to me like he didn't really want to be there, and he got stopped. So you call this? I think this was Santiago's first defence of the WBC title. He won this back in July on the undercard of Crawford and Spence. He beat Nonito Donaire, easy for me to say, who was in his 40s now, so probably wasn't. He gave Santiago a good fight on the night for an older gentleman, because he's round about my age. But I think if he was younger and in his prime, I think he would have beaten Santiago. I never really rated Santiago that much. That's just my opinion. You may disagree. So anyway, Junto Nakatani, now 3-weight world champion, WBC Flyweight champion. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Main event, Takuma Inoue, the younger brother of Naoya, the monster Inoue. He made a successful defence of his WBA Bantamweight title. He knocked out Jerwin Ancajas, former world champion. Yeah, it was a good performance. I thought Ancajas might just nick this with his experience, and he was doing very well, especially in the fourth. He was landing some decent punches and was pushing Inoue back. And Inoue's not as savage a puncher as his brother is, but he got the knockout in round 9, I believe. I think it was the 9th. Yes, it was. With a combination of punches to the body, and it just sapped everything out of Ancajas. He just dropped, and he couldn't breathe, and he was done. And yeah, brilliant victory. This is obviously the best victory of Takuma Inoue's career. I have to keep looking up. I've written the names down because I fucked the names up, and if you wonder why I keep looking up there, I've written the names down so I don't screw them up too much, because I think I know it, and oh fuck, how do I say his name? And then, right, I've just got it there, so I know how to say his name. So if you wonder why I keep looking up all the time, that's why. But no, brilliant, brilliant, savage body. I think it was a left and a right to the body. Bang! He just fucking went down, and he couldn't breathe, and he was finished. And I didn't expect, when the fight was announced, I thought Ancajas, although he's 32 and he's not quite in the, he's kind of at the later end of his career, and he's lost something since he lost his world title a couple of years ago. So I thought he might have enough to beat Inoue, but no, not at all. He did well, like I say. He was outlanding him at times and catching him with a straight left, brilliant. But yeah, those body punches, they just did something to him. They just took his fucking soul. So yeah, brilliant card. I thoroughly enjoyed all three of the fight. I only watched the main fights, didn't watch the undercard. Absolutely brilliant. I've yet to watch the Edgar Berlanga McCrory fight. I haven't watched that yet. I will have a look. I've seen the result. I know who won. I know what happened, but I'll have a look at that later on. But no, this card, I was thoroughly impressed with it. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, if you haven't seen any of it, check them out. It's Japanese boxing is thriving. It's absolutely thriving, and I really enjoyed it. And the good thing is, because it's in Japan, the time to watch them live here in the UK is brilliant, because it's in the morning, early afternoon for me. Not like the American shows where I have to stay up late at night, So no, thoroughly enjoyed it. Really impressed. The best fight of the night for me was the Kosei Tanaka Christian Bacasegua fight. I think that was a really entertaining fight. They were all good fights, but that was the fight of the night for me, in my opinion. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you, if you haven't seen it or enjoyed it, I hope you do see it and enjoy it. And that's enough out of me. I've got things to do. You take care, and I'll be back to speak to you next week. Cheers.